Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And we are talking again about the Rider-Waite deck and some of the symbolism that's in the cards, getting down into the nitty-gritty pieces instead of talking about a more whimsical deck this time. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the different connections and modalities with respect to the tarot. So astrology, I Ching, the chakras, things like that. Just a little bit, not a whole lot, just to kind of connect things. But today we are talking about the Queen of Swords. So I really like this card for a whole bunch of reasons, but primarily because there's a lot of neat stuff going on in the throne on her, the symbolism, and also her robe has some neat stuff going on. So I want to start with the tiniest little thing on here that most people would be like, that's nothing, I don't know what you're talking about. But we know that swords are representative of communication and air and that kind of aspect of things, the element. Way up here in the top, teeny tiny, you can see a little bird. Birds are also representative of messages and kind of freedom. And when we think of air and we think of birds, it's that kind of just getting caught up in that updraft and just going with it. And that is very much what the Queen of Swords is controlling. So when you get to the court cards of the minor arcana, especially with the kings and queens, you are starting to reach a point of mastery with whatever the message of that suit is. So with the swords, you're reaching a mastery of all the conflict and the communication and the structure and all of those kinds of things, the strategy, shall we say, that come with all of the trouble that the story of the swords have represented. Look at the Queen of Swords as a woman who has gone through all of the trials that the pip cards represented. She has seen betrayal. She has been to rock bottom. She may have really had a life that was the school of hard knocks. Nothing came easily for her, but because of that, she has a lot of strength and a lot of grace. Obviously, when this card comes up inverted, the lesser aspect of that is somebody who just cannot seem to overcome that. They may have a victim mentality, or they use their struggles to kind of manipulate others. It's like, oh, well, my life was harder than yours kind of thing. Somebody who has been there, done that, and has now gained a lot of grace from it, and can also be the shoulder for people who are going through the things that she has seen. So this is not the mom who's going to necessarily be all happy, cheerful with you, but this is the mom who's going to tell it to you straight because she's been there. And she'll be there for you, but she's not going to let you avoid anything. She's going to be like, okay, you got yourself into this trouble. Let's see how we can get you out. And what did you learn from that? The other thing represented on her throne is the butterfly, and that is transformation. We know that butterflies can also represent the dead and things like that. They are big time transformative. So when we see the butterfly as the base of her throne, which is really what is holding her up, is her ability to transform herself, her ability to adapt to any situation, no matter what comes at her. So these are things to keep in mind with this particular card. There's also an angel or a cherubic sort of face on the throne. Again, she listens to divine messages. She is deeply in touch, if not spiritually, she definitely kind of has a religious bent. She probably is a person who prays or in some way. So she meditates, she contemplates things, she has a belief in a higher power, or in some way reaches out to that kind of aspect. This is a person who knows that there is something looking out for her because she's been through a lot and is still here to talk about it. Looking at her robe, we see the clouds on here. So that is air represented, but there are clouds in the background as well as on her robe. And we know that the representation of clouds means kind of a fogginess, means conflict of the mind. So looking at her, we know she is still puzzling things out. She is always thinking. This may be a person who overthinks a little bit. I am not going to get into the fact that there is some debate whether or not this should be my card rather than the Queen of Cups, but the Queen of Swords is represented by Libra and is definitely an air sign. So sometimes people are like, hey, that's your Libra, that's your card. I'm like, I'm very much more Queen of Cups than Queen of Swords. But when this card comes up, I definitely do relate to it in the sense of that communication and trying to embrace the grace when you've kind of had a lot of crap thrown your direction. So that's the Queen of Swords. Look out for those people in your life. They will definitely look out for you. These are ride or die kind of people. Keep that in mind when you see someone who is like, oh, totally Queen of Swords. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. I'll see you again soon. Bye.